Hey guys, my name is Gil, and in this video I'm going to show you how to drill the trigger mounting holes for the trigger mechanism. I'm working on the same rear handle spear gun as I've been on my two other videos. So I'm picking up where I left off. The next step is to drill the holes for the trigger. Okay, so here we go again. Okay, so here I have my rear handle spear gun that I've been working on. I've already routed my trigger pocket and squared off the corners there, and I've routed my track, and here I have my trigger mechanism, and it fits nicely into that pocket, and it's got a little bit of play in there, and that you actually want that play because it's nearly impossible to get a perfect fit, especially when working with wood. You always want a little bit of play. Plus, if you ever plan to finish this gun, you actually need a little bit more play if you plan to use epoxy or anything like that. Okay, so this is normal and this is good. Okay, so fits nicely in there. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is basically set this up so that the actual drilling operation will be easy, and it's all in the alignment. And what I'm going to use is basically a shop-made jig here. It's basically an L-shaped piece of, well, it's actually two pieces of wood. It's about 4 inches long, and it's got a lip here, and I screwed that down, and try to get it as straight as possible, and take a nice 90-degree miter cut here so that both of these surfaces here and here are flush. And what this you'll use this for is basically straddling the gun, okay, and holding, actually giving you a reference point to hold down your trigger. Okay, so the approach I'm going to take, there's some there's some drill jigs out there, specially made for certain trigger mechanisms. But assuming you don't have a drill jig, this method here should work. Okay, so first thing you want to do is basically, you have to clamp up your gun. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, now that my gun is clamped up, you need your shaft. The shaft that you're going to use, you want to lay that into the track. Okay. Okay, and then take your trigger mechanism, and then put that into the trigger pocket, and insert your shaft into the trigger. Okay, so now it's sitting directly on top of the shaft here. So what I'm going to do next is take a measurement with my calipers. Okay, and you want to take the forward end, because this is where it's critical. Okay, you want to take the height of the trigger housing from the top surface of your gun, and I'm measuring pretty close to 0.11. Okay, so we'll have to remember that number, 0.11. Okay, so take your trigger out, and then now you want to turn this gun on its side. This is the top surface here. Okay, make sure it's clamped down nice. Take your trigger and insert it into the trigger pocket. Okay, and then you want to take your tool here, your setup jig and straddle the side of the corner of the gun and bring that up to where the trigger, the aft end of the trigger is. See how that protrudes slightly? And you want to bring that up, right up to it. Now, since there's a little bit of play in here, you don't want it totally up against the forward wall of your trigger pocket. You want to back off a little bit, okay? Okay, hopefully that's better. Now, I'm going to do a sort of a semi-tight clamp here. Okay, just enough so you can actually move it a little bit. That's a little too tight. Back it off just a little bit. Okay, that should be good. Okay, I'm going to clamp this down tight. Okay. Okay, so now you see this surface here wraps around all the way to the side of the gun, so you'll be able to use it as an indexing point. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go right up to that surface and then clamp down the trigger. Okay, you want to clamp this down semi-tight so you'll still be able to move the trigger mechanism. Okay, so okay, I'm going to back off a little bit. Make sure that's up against the block, and then I don't know if you can see that, but remember my measurement was 0.11. Okay, so what I want to do is add 20 thousandths just to give it a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so I'm going to go to 0.13. I'm going to lock that down. Okay, and then I'm going to use this end of my caliper here to set the height of the trigger. Okay. So do the back end as well. Okay, you want to tighten this down. Okay, do one last check. Okay. Now effectively what we're doing is using the trigger mechanism itself as a drill guide, and this will ensure that the holes that we drill into into the gun itself, the gun stock, will align with her trigger mechanism. Okay, so ideally now you want to actually do this on a drill press, but I'm going to use a hand drill here just to show you that you can actually do this by hand. Okay, so the next step is to take your 3/16 drill. Now that's a 3/16 hole, and it'll hold a 3/16 mounting pin. Okay, so use a 3/16 drill, and you should have a pretty good fit in there. Okay, now you want to set your drill to the highest speed, and what you want to do is actually just drill through the first portion of your gun here, just the right side wall. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Alright, okay, so you got a hole that aligns to your trigger mechanism to one hole. Okay, a good idea is to actually put a pin there. Okay, check alignment one more time, just to make sure nothing moved. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do the back hole. Alright, okay, let's see how it is. Okay. Okay, so now you want to put the pin in on the forward side. Okay. Okay, our forward side is pinned. Okay. Now you don't want to push that in all the way and not be able to pull it out. So just enough to get it pinned. Okay. And then now you want to chase the back end here. And what it'll do is pick up the hole on the trigger mechanism on the far side of the hole that you've already drilled through the gun on the right hand side. So, oops, I want to make sure it'll go all the way through. Oops, and I forgot. What you also want to do is back up the far side of your gun, so that when you plunge through with the drill, it won't tear out the wood fibers on the far side of the edge of the hole. Okay, sure you can go all the way through. Alright, I think I've gone all the way through. Let me just check. Okay, gone all the way through on the aft hole. Pin that down. Take forward side out. Need to back that up. Okay, so I've backed up the far side. of my drill here with a sacrificial piece of wood, and as I insert the drill bit, it'll pick up the hole on the trigger mechanism. Okay, and then now I want to go all the way through the gun. Okay. Two holes on the far side of the on the left side of the gun, and it should be in perfect alignment. Alright. Alright. Okay, so looks like we got pretty good alignment here as far as the holes go. So now you want to check the fit with your shaft. So basically this is the moment of truth. Grab your shaft, make sure it slides in. Good. There's a little bit of vertical play here, which is what you want, and make sure it snaps in. Not too bad, not too bad. Awesome. Hope you learned something from that one.